Yeah, so this is episode 1, Experience Real Podcast. I'm here with Lewis Welch from Welch Fitness. Just want to check in with you really. I know you're opening up a gym.
Yeah, mate. That's it's hopefully coming soon. We went to see it last week, so things are looking good. It's just the patient games now.
Yeah, I bet. Like at the minute, it's not exactly that straightforward. Getting involved and opening it up, I doubt, is it?
No, well, basically, originally we had like a plan of we're going to be opening in September, but obviously then COVID struck, and it's basically put us about 2 months behind. That we know of at the moment, so it might be longer, but we're hoping 2 months.
Yeah, hopefully things will start opening back up and keep on that track
Yeah, and to be fair to the boys working on it, looks like they're making some good progress. And annoyingly for us, the barn we're moving into is completed.
Yeah.
But basically someone's currently occupying it and they're moving into a new barn.
Right.
So we're kind of waiting for their new barn to be done so they can move in and then we can move into
it. Blocking your position at the minute.
Yeah, well they're not.
They can't really help it either.
Yeah, it's not their fault. No, it's all above board. We completely understand the position. But
how have you been finding things in general? Are you able to carry on doing bits and pieces with people? Or?
Yeah, well, originally obviously when COVID first sort of happened, it was full stop.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh my god, what is going to go on? Because initially I was probably a bit most people, a bit naive, it's going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that'll be the end of it. Sort of social media will calm down, or the media will calm down with it.
I thought exactly the same. I was in lockdown now, they'll do it it'll be strict, everyone will stay in, that'll be it for 2 to 3 weeks, and then life will be back to normal.
Yeah.
We're what, 4 or 5 months in now?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
If you'd asked me 4 or 5 months ago, are we going to be in this awkward situation where you don't know what you can do, what you can't do, because I'm completely lost with it, I don't know about you. But...
Yeah, well, luckily for me, my enjoyment is fitness and exercise. Yeah. I'm lucky I got literally the best home gym probably in the world.
Yeah.
So for me, training wise, it enhanced it to have more time because I was just off. But the missus was at home, she was still working, and in fact she got busier because she works for an online internet school.
Oh, right.
So of course for them it's just business as usual.
Yeah.
But she's working from home. So of course the first sort of few weeks when it was right, no contact, lockdown, only allowed out sort of 20 minutes a day, she was flat out working and I'm just walking around the house. And at first I thought, be a bit alright this, a few weeks off, got some sort of good years in my FIFA career, sort of making some strides on that. And then it was just the guilt just came in there, and it's she's working, I'm just bumming around at home.
Yeah.
And it was a bit this needs to end now. So
do you feel it's probably kind of helped you in some way, have the time to think about what you're going to do and
it has, but then we've almost overplanned now because we've got so much time. And we're literally ready to open tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we've had so much time, and before COVID, we were fairly busy and we almost didn't have time to think about it. It was more we'll deal with that when we get in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it went from that to let's plan everything now.
Yeah.
So we're just like a bunch of kids at Christmas now, just waiting for that main present to sort of open. And obviously because we live 20 yards away from the barn.
Yeah.
We walk past it every day, so you're oh come on, I just want to get in there now.
Dream we're almost there.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that I've always wanted to do, it's always been my passion. So it's you can always feel it now, and obviously we've got some big things planned, so it's really exciting.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to impress a few people.
Yeah. What sort of target group? Are you looking general? Because I know a lot of gyms are either CrossFit or weights.
Yeah. So we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves really. So for me, I've got a really broad range of clients.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the most enjoyable thing about it, because you're not just mundane with, he wants to do CrossFit, let's just do CrossFit or Olympic lifting. I've got my oldest client is nearly in their 18s.
Yeah.
So we want to sort of branch out to the whole community really. There'd be elements where anyone at any form of fitness can come in and train.
They can do something.
Yeah, we even want it, we're hoping, we don't know how easy it's going to be to pull off, but we're hoping to do a Friday as well. Under 16s can come and train free.
Yeah.
So we can sort of bring in the youngsters at a certain time. They don't need to pay, because I knew when I was 16 I didn't have money for a gym membership.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, and it just gives them something to do, sort of hanging out, on the street or just sort of kicking around, sort of doing nothing.
that's really cool. Like, because you know, at that age, that's where they can either be influenced one way or another.
Yeah, they could find a sport they didn't even know they love. Like my passion's like Olympic lifting. I love doing that. You know, how many people really go an Olympic lift? Like very little.
Yeah.
So it could be 1 out of 10 love it, and then they want to stay, and we can help them. You know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, then we want, you know, your OAP sort of come in, sit on the bike, just a social element, see some people, sit down, or even just come and have a coffee, you know. So
it's good vibe as well, isn't it? You know, it's so positive, like, because I don't know, like not everyone wants to hang out in the pub. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
exactly, mate. Like me, for instance, I've never been in a pub. I don't drink alcohol. So like for me, my social sort of thing is going to the gym. Whereas like you said, some people got the pub or they got different hobbies. Whereas for me, I see majority of my mates in the gym. So we want that feel of, yes, come and train, but at the same time, come hang out, have a coffee, you know, pick our brains. So that sort of vibe to it.
Have you ever been like, well, I know, like when I was younger and stuff, I was mega into drinking. Like when I was like 18, well, even younger probably. But like, because the options weren't probably there as much, like I was always kind of trained, but you know, never pointed in the right direction, I suppose.
Yeah, I think for me, I had like a little wild in my early sort of 20s where like it was like all my mates going out, and I did it just because my mates were doing it. Like one of my best mates, big rugby player, that culture, you know, like drink sort of mentality. And I got caught up in it. Like growing up, obviously, my old man was very sporty. He was a coach too. He never drank, so I was never like exposed to it. So it was always something like I was trying to do, not like enjoying it. Like I never enjoyed going out drinking. I enjoyed going out with the boys, but like getting hammered just wasn't for me. And I think it was like I was 20, and we just had like a heavy weekend. And I remember going in the gym. Normally I could get away with it. We'd go out Monday, still in the gym, training fine. And I remember just going in the gym and just being like, I'm buggered, Jay. Like, I'm knackered. And it was because of the weekend. And I thought, right, I got a choice here now. Like, do I want to start training just for aesthetics? You know, because I think there's a difference between like looking good or trying to train for like a performance goal. So I was like, right, I really need to decide what my training is. Is it just to look half decent, or is it because I want to perform? And there's always like a performance thing for me. So I was just randomly one January, as you do, I'm never drinking again. Of course, everyone's like, of course you always see. And and I just didn't. It was one of them. The more people that said you're not going to do it, I just was like, right, and it just made me just not do it. And just for 10 years now, I haven't drank.
Like it's so I get like caught up in it. You know, like I haven't seen someone for a while because like I always they're like I just got drinking with them. Do you know what I mean? You see them, oh, we'll go for a pint soon. We'll go for a pint soon. And sometimes like, I walk away and I feel like I don't even want to do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to like get into more. I've always like trained weights and stuff, and you know, I just ballooned in weight and stuff just from drinking and eating and stuff. Trying to get more like running based now. But like I'm like, if I drink that weekend, that's ruined that week. Do you know what I mean? Whatever I gained that week, I feel like is gone. If not a bit more.
It's finding that balance, because I think we all do feel that way. But sometimes it's like, right, let's put it into contents. We've all like, oh, I'm a bit of a stream, I don't drink, but I'll never push to someone. You know what, you shouldn't drink, because if, like you said, you had one sort of wild weekend, knocked you back a bit, but on the grand scheme of things, if that's one weekend out of say 10, that's a pretty good going, isn't it? You know, and I think people forget that, and they start always thinking about like the negative. Like, oh, I've ruined all my gains are gone. Well, it's probably not within 2 days. Like we see it all the time with like dieting. Like so people will be on it perfectly for like 5 days, have one bad day, and then that's it. They're like, oh my god, I've ruined everything, and then they're just off the bandwagon. Whereas one bad day out of sort of 6 is actually quite a good percentage. And people just don't look at it like that. They focus on that one bad day, which probably isn't like the end of the world.
I know, because I've done it a million times where I start a diet or whatever, do a solid 2 weeks, because I don't like kind of build in something I really like maybe one day I'll then break in effect. And then that's it. Then I might have a week of eating terribly. Whereas if I just admitted I want to have that, but then I'm back. Like you'll get so much further. So much
you will, mate, because it's just about calorie deficit. So people overcomplicate it all the time with their food, and all it comes down to is calorie deficit.
Yeah.
So like the way I like to always think of it is every day I have like my spending money on my food.
Yeah.
So like my calories, for example, is my calorie intake that day is going to be my bank account. And it's right, what do I want to spend my money on in that day? Or if I know, right, on the weekend I'm going to have like a big weekend, meeting up with the boys and have a barbecue, right, I'm going to save some money every day. So I'm going to save £200 every day, which is like 200 calories.
Yeah.
And then come Saturday, I've gained an extra 1,000 calories. I can then have an extra 1,000 calories on top of that day, guilt-free really, because we've put ourselves in a deficit all that day. So that whole week we're still in that deficit. Where people think, oh my god, barbecue, I'll just write it off and go mental.
Yeah.
But it's just about being a bit smart with it, really.
And you don't go there then feeling like, oh, I feel like a bit of an outcast or whatever because I'm trying to diet, or you let yourself down and you go the other way.
Exactly. You can just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And this is why I tell the people, like, all right, you might suffer in that week. I don't know, if someone is already on a low deficit, say if they were on like 1,700 and then they're having 1,500 calories every day, they might struggle for those 5 days, but they can enjoy their weekend then. So I think people try to overcomplicate it, or they just put themselves on these horrible diets that are completely unmaintainable, and it's just, your life's miserable.
You're trying to achieve in 3 months, like in 2 weeks, what should take 3 months.
It's just it's unrealistic, isn't it? We need to like dial it back and go, right, can I live my life like this? No, then probably not the way to go. I think, like you said, at least on a calorie deficit, you can still have foods you enjoy. We're just being smart. We're just making. It comes down to making choices, because food. The way I look at it, food's food. So there's no such thing as like, right, a good food or a bad food. Like, food is food, but we have better choices. So some foods are more nutritious than some foods. So if I was like, right, what do I want to spend my money on? This bar of chocolate that's going to give me like a little amount of food, or a massive bowl of strawberries that both equal to the same amount of calories, but I'm going to get more money's worth for those strawberries instead of that little bar of chocolate. But sometimes that little bar of chocolate wins, and it's like, do you know what? I'm willing to spend my money on that, but I'll have to pay for the consequences and not eat as much for the rest of the day.
Literally, me and my missus have been on like using like MyFitnessPal to track our calories.
Mate, that's perfect.
And like, we're exactly the same. You know, some nights you feel like you need, like you're saying, the chocolate bar. You know you're gonna have to suffer for it.
It's worth it though, isn't it?
Yourself through it.
Yeah, mate. But it stops us going mad and going off the bandwagon.
You see it like written down. Like, I don't know if I'm a bit like, I don't know. I get like obsessed with like the number, so I know I can't break that. So one way or another, like even if I do have a chocolate bar, I know like I'm not going to overeat because I've had that. I'm still.
You're holding yourself accountable for it, basically. And like you said, sometimes as well, you'll have something and you're like, oh, you know what, that's all right. You scan it through your app. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
I know.
Like, do you know what? I'll leave that now. And I'm not willing to have that amount of calories on that bit of food. So that's another great reason to use the MyFitnessPal app. It's key, and it's so good.
So like, it's flagged up. Like, we tried it for like a week with what we were eating as a normal diet, what we deemed like this is quite healthy, and you really flags up the things that are completely ruining your week, and they're so easy to cut out. Then, like you said, that like, I don't know, like it's cut down salad or whatever. You probably may do the same. Like, you have your plate of food, you put it like on the scale or whatever, put your mayo or whatever like on. You have, and you're like, oh my god, that many grams of that is like 200 or 100 calories. That is never worth that. Straight out.
Exactly that. And like, the biggest thing sometimes as well is like with like, one of the biggest things I see is people who don't. Well, they think they're tracking calories, but they're not. So they sort of they almost like estimate their calories. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh, do you like use olive oil when you're? And they're like, oh, how much olive oil do you put on? And they like, sort of douse it on. And you're like, right, well, a teaspoon of olive oil is like nearly like 90 calories. And they're like, oh, I have about like 8 teaspoons. And you're like, right, that's where those extra calories are. And they're like, because in their mind they're doing great. But that's why I say, do you know what? Even if it sounds stupid to track it, just track it. Because if you're not sort of, not that you need to be overly educated, but if you're not sort of switched on to these things, especially like with fats that can be so high in calories, then you can just catch yourself out. And then some poor people, they're like, I'm trying my hardest, and you're like, it's just little things that they're just missing.
Yeah, it's a tweak.
Yeah, and that's all it is. And that just might be the reason why they're not in their deficit and they're not losing their sort of goal weight. But like, it's quite funny because, as well, like in our households, like Nat, like my missus, she's typical. Always wants, always dieting, wanting to lose weight. She's doing really well at the moment. But like for me, I have to eat nearly like 5,500 calories every day. So yeah, it's a lot of food. So like for her, it's just hell because like she's with it sort of. I think she's at the moment she's around 1,600 calories.
Yeah.
So she's and I'm there then like I've got like another 400 calories left.
You like struggling doing
yeah, because I'm not like a food person, so I don't enjoy eating. Like I'm boring as hell. I literally eat the same food every day.
But it's really hard. I expect it's quite hard to get 5,000 like good calories in as well, isn't it?
It is, and I tell myself that every day. So I'm like, oh well, like some nights I'm literally at 400 calories out. So what's the easiest way? Like half a tub of Ben and Jerry's. Yeah. So I'm there like, oh man, I've got to have like a tub of Ben and Jerry's. And she's like, just like, I hate you. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, it's hard to get a lot of calories out of broccoli. It's like the famous sort of saying. Yeah. So sometimes it's not all clean eating for sure.
I can imagine like when we're doing it, it's like I've got like, it's not even like to that extreme, but maybe 1,000 more calories a day than my missus, and she's like, like you're eating again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You feel a little guilty. So like, I'm like that sort of weirdo, like sort of hiding what I'm eating. Yeah. Like I've got like issues, but I'm just trying to not let Nat see what I'm actually eating.
It's like, it's the only money I can't give you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
If I share this with you, it's not going to benefit you.
And then I'm there like smug eating my ice cream. I'm doing this for you. It's I'm thinking of you.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, poor Nat, she has to sort of suffer with that. But yeah, it's like for me, because my day starts so early as well. It's like a long day, so like I really rely on food for my fuel, because otherwise I will just crash. So I'm just constantly eating, basically.
Yeah. Do you train like once, twice a day? Or?
So for me, I train. It depends on the day and how busy I am. So as a rule, it's 2 times a day.
Yeah.
But if I'm struggling, it sounds a lot, but it might be 3. But then if you add it after like 2 solid sessions, it's just because I'm like squeezing maybe 1 session and breaking it into like 2 sessions.
Yeah.
So I tend to do like some heavy lifting in the morning, and then like a conditioning piece in the evening with accessories after that.
Yeah.
So normally like 2 times on average.
How do you find like training twice a day? Because I've been trying to do that as much as I can recently, and like, injuries. Do you come across like?
Yeah. Always little niggles. I'm a big believer on like prehabbing. So when I say like 2 times a day, that's also not including like I do like 20 minutes of yoga.
Yeah.
I've got one of those like massage guns that I use quite frequently. I really recommend those.
That's massive like change for me.
Yeah, another good one is like a power dot. So they're like, it's like a TENS machine basically, but it's all done for your phone. So it's all like doing that as well. Like for like 20 minutes in the night.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm always doing something to try and prevent injury, but I've just come off the back of like the last 18 months. I turned 30 and just it just went, yeah, basically my back went like typical like 30 back went, and it's only like now, touch wood, that it's sort of coming back.
Yeah.
So it's been quite difficult going from where I was to having almost like starting again now, like with the weights wise anyway. It was a great opportunity where I could still work on other things, but like strength wise I'm just slowly coming back to what I was.
That's what I find, like, because I find with the running and stuff, overweight, like feel it on the joints and stuff. Since I got that massage gun or whatever, just prehabbing it, like you say, I'll do it every run, even if I don't feel like I need to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because what a difference it makes to like the next day. I'm like sort of back to base, not just back to like where I was when I started the day before. I'm not just like feeling it from the day before and just go through the motions.
Honestly, it's one of those things that like when you're young and everyone's like, oh, you should stretch, and you can get away with it when you're young, but you sort of look at people like, oh yeah, and it's not until you have to do it you realise maybe I should have been doing this a long time ago.
I think like over the years, especially like for you, lifting the weights and stuff, I think like you just tighten up as the years go on as well. Maybe you wouldn't
Yeah,
get to
mate.
that age and have these injuries if you've done it. Like,
No, honestly, like my warm up now, it's gone from like I used to just go in the gym, you know, weight on the bar, off I go.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm having like a 45-minute warm up. I'm just like an old man, isn't it? Like, I come in, these like youngsters will come in the gym and they're doing what I used to do, and I'm there like the old man in the corner. Oh, you want to warm up a bit longer? And they're like, yeah, whatever, dude.
yeah.
But yeah, like I literally warm up like 45 minutes, try and get as warm as I can before I do anything. Whereas before, like I said, I would just go in and I was like a way to go.
Yeah.
And God, I used to take that for granted. You know, like even on a run, like I just go out and run. Whereas now it's like 20 minutes, and then I always got to like think about the run. It's like, and then I'll get out and do it. But yeah, regards for your running, how's that going?
Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah. I'm trying to go like sort of 4 or 5 times a week.
Oh, nice, mate.
Well, I was ramping up a bit, but I had like something up with my knee. I don't know. It seems alright now anyway, so I'm trying to like just build it back. But
have you just gone out and ran, Joe, or just any sort of method to it, or?
I started off like over the last couple of years. I've been like sort of doing bits and pieces. I call it like I haven't really been specific in what I'm doing. It was like sort of start lockdown. I was like, I'm going to focus in on this and try and like get the weight off as well at the same time. With the diet. Because I feel like that's massively restricting. It's
like the difference that you said. Chuck a weighted vest on and try and run. It's hard, isn't it?
It's hell. Like, yeah.
So if you think if anyone's carrying excess weight and then lose that, it's like having a weighted vest and taking it off and then running.
Yeah.
You know, it feel like a dream, won't it?
Yeah.
So, but when lockdown started, because I had a bit more time, I was like, right, I'm going to work on my running. Cause I hate running.
Yeah.
So like running is my kryptonite. Honestly, it's like it's distance because I've always sprinted, so I've always been like a sprinter. But that's like, do you know what? This is no better time to work on it. So I started to do like heart rate training, like zone work.
Yeah.
So I was doing like a lot of zone 2 work. And when I first started doing it, it's the first time I've ever done it. So I was that sort of Garmin, sort of, hey, look at me on my heart rate monitor and that sort of guy. But it was one of them I've always thought, it just sounds so boring. Like, because basically you stay within your zone 2 heart range, which is quite a comfortable sort of zone. And you always feel like you're cheating yourself a bit because you are going a lot slower than what you can.
Yeah.
But the benefits I got from that within like 8 weeks was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just stuck with it. And then at that sort of pace then, like I went from sort of, honestly, as sort of basic from running like 2 miles at a push. So I was like running 4 or 5 miles just comfortable.
Yeah.
Just from sticking in zone 2. Yeah. So anyone who is sort of struggling, it might just be that you're just going off too hard initially, and just try some like zone 2 work. Because honestly, really, really, really impressed with that.
My biggest feelings on it, like if I go out running, I don't want to run a mile and walk a bit and then try and run.
Yeah.
I want to like be able to see the duration. Like, do you know what I mean? I hate like. But I know you need to do that possibly to stay in that zone. But
yeah, you do. So sometimes like with me, it would get to a point in. Yeah, you'd have to sort of slow your heart rate down and just walk. But for me, it was like an experiment. I was like, right, I'm going to trust the sort of method. And,
there's loads of different ways.
Yeah, because I've always done track works like middle distance, so like a lot of like 400 repeats, 800. So I'd always be used to having like a rest. So I like working to that because I think I basically got like a background in concept 2 rowing. That was what I used to do a lot in my early 20s. And it was all about like numbers and splits. So when you're rowing, your split is your time is going to take you to row 500 meters.
Yeah.
And it was like obsessive. So the races were always over 2K. That's like the Olympic distance. So you'd always be like, right, I'm doing like 8 500s. I need to keep my split like 5 seconds under my 2K pace. So because I'm like quite a number person like that, running around a track motivates me more than just go out on a long run. Where some people are like, how can you just run in a circle? Exactly. Like some people are like, how can you just run in a circle all day?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, right, it's not about the run, it's about the numbers.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, you got to find like what's going to suit you. Because if you absolutely hate doing that, it's like the biggest thing I find is some people just like they have one method of like training someone and that's it. Whereas the way I look at it is you got to find something someone's going to enjoy because that's how you're going to get the most out of them. Because they're going to want to do it. Obviously, within reason, if someone sort of comes in and go, I just like sitting down. We might change that. But yeah, it's like trying to find that niche. So like like you said, like running around a track in a circle.
Oh yeah, I think like treadmill, I always find would like cook me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
10 minutes I'd have enough. Whereas I feel like I can go out for a run for an hour, and I'm fine with it. At no point I'm thinking like, oh, when's this going to end? Do you know what I mean?
We've got one of those assault treadmills.
Oh, I got one of them.
Yeah, they're class.
They're hell, aren't they?
Yeah, so I do like all my running on there now. It's like a hamster on there. So. Yeah.
Is it like 10% harder than actual running?
Well, I read somewhere it was like 30%, so I'm sticking with that. Sticking with that. And it does seem like 30% harder too. And a lot of like the times are around that difference. So I don't know if it's just me telling myself that. But I think because you've got to move that band, it's obviously more like you're using your hammies a lot more than what you would when you're running on the road. So
you're kind of building like your pushing muscles as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
I find it really weird. I only had like 10 minutes on when it take a bit again.
It does. Watching someone the first time on this hilarious, but like biomechanically, it just makes you run so much better. So that's why I use it, because when you then get out on the roads, it does feel better because like biomechanically, your knee drives a bit better, your stride's a bit more smoother.
Yeah.
So like they're a good tool to go along with that, and especially now like with the winter coming, you'll have to get you up on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a couple of there.
We've got one of those. They're just so expensive. But we've got one of those where we have got 2 of the assault bikes, like the Airdyne bikes. We've got 2 of those, 2 ski ergs, which I love ski ergs.
I've never had to go on one of them. I'm interested to see that.
They're really good. Really recommend those. We've got 2 rowers and then 2 Concept 2 bikes as well.
Yeah.
So we've got plenty of cardio stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like, definitely get down and try it out. Like, cool. Very excited now.
Yeah. It's just like I said earlier, like kid at Christmas. Just almost wishing time away, really.
Yeah, definitely.
But like you said, it's just patience and just hopefully it all pays off for it, because at the moment anyway, where we are with COVID is people are going to have like booking slots and stuff anyway. So I'm trying to sort of be positive and think, well, maybe by the time we're in there, it might be that next step of normality, where people can maybe come in bigger groups or something like that. So
dropping in rather than having to book
and having all the lines where people have to stay within their own. So hopefully that will be better. God knows where we actually will be by then. But
I think though, like from your Facebook and stuff, you've got quite a good following of people as it is, and
it's been really positive. And I think for me that's like the hardest part. So obviously you can imagine we're being inundated like when you open. And like obviously you almost feel like you want to jump when the iron's sort of hot, but at the same time I think, like you said, we're hopefully fairly popular now. It's getting there.
Sorry, I think with the booking system as well, even if it is with that, some people may not have a slot at their gym they go to currently and think, oh, see if I can get a slot in that gym.
Exactly.
If you are quiet, you may pick up customers you never thought you'd get.
It is
through that as well. So
it's being positive and thinking that way, isn't it? Sort of like you said, that this feels sorry for myself. It might work in our favour. And obviously we've got Vamos in the courtyard, like a calf.
Yeah.
So you might have someone who's just literally going to the calf, and then all of a sudden like, oh, it's a gym there.
Yeah.
So little things like that might help too. So
like competition wise, like there's a couple of gyms in Crick, but they're not like amazing. Like the Manor. I'm not trying to put anyone else down or something like that. That's like the hotel gym, really.
Yeah,
it's not like
it's a classic commercial gym, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas we have a bit more of a different feel to that. Like, so we can lift weights overhead. I think we've got like our rig has like a 14-foot rope climb, so that you can climb a rope, like gymnastic muscle ups. So you've got all the fun stuff there as well. So I think as well the old man is doing a wrestling class there.
Oh, is he? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
So that like it's nowhere else sort of around here that's going to offer a class.
That as well as a gym.
So that would be quite exciting to see as well. So
yeah, definitely.
He's super excited for that, because like me, he's just like, I've always had my own gym basically. So like when I was a kid, my dad's lucky enough. My dad was like, "Oh, I'll build you a gym in the garden."
Yeah.
So he's now changed, which was my gym before I moved. Now it's his wrestling gym.
Yeah.
But it's tiny, and he literally have people rolling in there in this tiny little shed. It's just mental. So yeah, the boys will be able to move, just have some space
Yeah.
where they can roll around a bit more, you know.
I'm good friends like Scott Lewis. I think he goes a lot with
yeah,
me.
Scott.
He'd be
Scott's
buzzing for that. I expect that class.
Yeah, I would have thought so. You might be getting the after pay now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was there. I don't think he had a break over COVID from there, to be honest.
No,
I think he's.
I think he's in the best shape of his life, to be honest.
He's in good nick. Yeah, it pains me to say it, but
yeah. Don't tell him to his face.
Yeah, I did see
Hopefully
him.
he doesn't see this.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, I did see him going at tabletop on one of his runs.
Yeah.
I caught him walking the other day. So,
Oh, is it? Yeah.
But he's
Pausing his Strava, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, he wasn't tired. No.
He's been giving me grief for like weeks, if not months, about like we said we're gonna have a 5k race and see who wins. Oh, and he's just been badgering me, like sending me times. Right, let's do it then. And I'm like, oh, can we do it then? He's like, oh, you just don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it. You bitch him out.
Mate, well, let's get it. I think we need to set it up, don't we?
Yeah, I'm up for it. I've told him this, but he's just going to give me so much shit about this already.
Well, the old man said he's wrestling really well as well, so he must be fairly fit.
He's a character as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's like the type of people you want down there.
Definitely,
You want your characters. We don't want it to be that boring. Everyone's got to just go in head down. We want it to be more. If someone's on their own training, then it's, hey, what are you doing? Why don't you jump in with us? You know, like we want that community aspect to it.
You'll be there to give them a bit of advice and stuff as well.
Yeah,
don't
mate.
really get to you in a lot of gyms.
No, and I think literally at the moment I am the only member of staff.
Yeah.
So that's a bit daunting. I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of work, basically.
Definitely. Yeah.
But it's going to be worth it. I think we got another lad who wrestles at youngster. He's going to work on a Sunday down there, but apart from that, I'm going to be there all day.
Yeah.
So I'm all gutted. But I'll probably have a dog down there just because everyone who does know me knows wherever I am, the dog's there. So it's going to be a bit weird, and hopefully like he can transition and be comfortable down there. Like he's normally, because he's been in the gym, he's fine with weights and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's wherever he's settled.
Cool, like,
have a gym dog. It's wherever the thing is, he's a attention seeker. So as soon as one person strokes him, it's going to be game over. So it's hopefully he can sort of learn just to sit in his corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, it's going to be a lot of hard work. We haven't officially got opening times yet, but I'll be training down there 6. My first session's normally 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'll be down there training. So we'll be open from 6 till 8 for sure. I normally have one-to-ones then, so I might close from one-to-ones from 8 till 12, and then basically just open 12 till 9 is our idea at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
But then running one class a day, so we don't know what time that class will be yet though. Just to give people an opportunity to come to the class every day as well.
The main traffic is probably like, I'd imagine lunchtime, so you're going to be open for that, and then evening really when people finish work,
and like you said before, work the 6 to 8.
Yeah.
So that one's quite exciting because I think you just have a lot of people who know each other going near that time. Yeah. So have a bit of like a morning club.
Proper gym junkies in the morning. Like,
a bit of a, and I don't know what time Vamos is open, but if that's open, it'd be ideal because you could train. Yeah. Get some grub and
kind of help each other out as well. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So that'd be quite nice. But knowing my luck, it'd just be me down there on my own. It was like, we'll be down there. Just be like me on my own with a dog again. But
maybe making you ring on with your alarm clock.
Yeah, mate, I've done that. I've got one cousin who he's just something special. Yeah. And he's basically like, don't know how to put this without completely insulting him. But like, I would never have like a client worse than him. Yeah. For example, so like he's prepared me for anything. Like some of the stuff I've witnessed him do in the gym is like quite incredible. So like we're open to get him just because he's like the hype man. He's like the guy like, you know, Rudimental. Yeah. You know, they got like one guy and he does nothing apart from get the crowd going. Like that's like his job. So he's perfect because he would definitely make everyone feel at ease because like I said, some of the stuff he's done is like mind blowing. Like we were squatting once and we had like a little unit in Abergavenny, like just where we could all train, and it was a female who was squatting like right behind him. So because it was such a small space, everyone was like quite tight. So he squats down and literally his shorts just split, like completely split. Yeah. But this poor girl's at the bottom of her squat too. But he's not wearing underwear, is he? So like they split and she's there and she's just gone like, oh my god, and she's got a bar on her back. So she can't move and he's like, oh my trousers are split, what do I do? So she's just like move away from me. So yeah, we'll have a bit of that going on.
Wasn't it last session, was it?
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of her after that, actually. Yeah, no, she stuck around. She was good.
There for the banter there.
Yeah, she was a great lifter, actually. She was really probably stronger than most of us. Yeah.
It's good though. I think, like, you know, if you, like you said, you have a range of different people, loads of different vibes, and that's what it's all about. Like, I know when I train, it's always good to walk in and see someone and be like, oh yeah, I can train with him today. Or,
yeah, exactly.
You know, that means a lot when some of these, like, you know, I know when I've worked away and stuff, you go to a big gym, everyone's headphones in, eyes down, no one's talking, it's awkward. Do you know what I mean?
That's the
I think that's okay some days, but
it is, yeah. And don't get me wrong, we don't want it to be that annoyance of if that's your personality. I think we'd be quite good at judging, people. And if you just want to get in, and some people just they just want to get in, get out. Yeah. That's fine too. But at the same time, I think we would like it, like you said, go in, right. Hey, he's over there, let's jump in with him. Yeah. Or Lou, I'm struggling for a session today, mate. Write something on the boards that I can do. Yeah. Just do it like that, you know, as opposed to, what am I going to do today, you know? Because, you know, I think over the years, what I found from gyms is the gym instructor's almost gone now. It's like people assume that everyone knows what they're doing.
Pretty much.
Where sometimes, honestly, like you see it and people actually don't, and they're just looking for a bit of inspiration. And so I think to have someone down in a gym where they can go, hey, what are you doing today? And just take a bit of interest in people will go a long way. And sometimes they might go, you know what? I'm hitting a brick wall lately. I just don't know what to do. And they go, have you tried this, tried that? Yeah. So that's sort of hopefully what we can get going down there.
Especially someone like yourself, you know, you've been doing it for years and you'll be able to see that possibly in someone that you've probably hit the same stumbling block that they're struggling with as well. So
it's exactly that. Like, I think people have this whole thing of the classic, it's right for you because like you're fit or you're strong. Yeah. We're actually as far from it. I have the same struggles, like if not probably more than what other people have. So I've definitely experienced it. Like, I've been here where I felt unfit, weak, or sometimes just not improving. Yeah. And I've been lucky. I've had like good training partners, and they're bringing you on if you're not doing so well. But I think a lot of people assume that you get to a point in like your fitness journey and it becomes easy. Yeah. But it's just not the case, you know.
I find sometimes, say for instance, if I'm training with someone who can't maybe lift as much as me or run as much as me, like, and I see that I'm there then at the end of their set going, come on, like, you know, making them push to their max, but then I'm not doing it myself, you know. It's so easy to be like, well, I'm lifting more than them anyway. Like,
exactly. But like the way I look at it is like at the moment I've been training a lot with Nat. Obviously she's not as strong as me, but we scale the workout so she gets the same stimulus as what I'm going to get out of it. Yeah. And me being super competitive, she might scale it a bit too much some days and she's beating me, and I'm literally going because I'm like, and even though it's like, you know, she's got different weights, sometimes even a different movement because she might not be able to do a certain movement, and I'm still going for it because I'm thinking I don't want to lose. And it doesn't need to be, like you said, someone of equal quality. You can still push each other. Like,
it's about the effort level, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and it always comes down to the individual, don't it? So, like you said, if you need someone else to motivate you, then great. But sometimes you have to take that responsibility on yourself and say, do you know what? I need just to get up and do it. Like a big thing for me is like I always say, just get your foot through the door. As soon as you get there, you're going to do something. Whereas with a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm a bit tired. If you go to the gym, the likelihood is you're going to do, even if it's 10 minutes, that's 10 minutes that you wouldn't have done if you didn't go there. So just put your foot through the door is the biggest thing.
I don't know about you, like, but like mentally for me, the difference between going to the gym and not can be the difference between having a good day and a bad day. Like,
totally, for me, that's I'm one of those annoying people. I'm a bit over the top. With it, and it does sometimes probably go a bit overboard for me. So I need, and like Nat's been really good for me in this sense because I used to just be so obsessed with it and like comparing my times with other people, and if I like had a rubbish workout, everyone knew about it. Like, I would literally Sundays I leave the gym like just in a foul mood, and I'd be like, why are you like, you don't look like someone who enjoys this. You're like hating life. And it was just like the obsession of wanting to get better, but it went too far. And I think sometimes where you got to check yourself with that and think, what am I actually trying to get out of this? Is it to be a better person, healthier, more functional, then that's really all you need to get. Like, if you're not at a level where you're competing professionally, you don't need to be leaving the gym like that. All right, you might have a bad day if like you miss a lift that like you're deadlifting and you don't quite get your PB. But that's all it should be is that's annoying. Not then come home and it ruin your day. So it's like finding that fine line of wanting to improve and be better, but not letting it affect like your day-to-day life.
Yeah, definitely. Like the mental thing of training is as much as the physical. Like for me, if I'm having a bad time or whatever, I'm like, I know if I go for a run, it's going to sort me out. It may seem like the hardest thing to do at the time because you really don't want to go. You're like, I just can't even drag myself off the sofa. But 10 minutes in, different person. Do you know what I mean?
That feeling when you've done it, is so good, isn't it? Like you said, like, I just don't want to do it. And then when you've done it, it's like, I can't believe I've done that. I totally didn't want to do it. And like, I have so many days like that where I'm like convincing myself of reasons not to do it. And then sometimes I'm like, just do it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Just get in and do it. But like I said before, I think it is that fine line of sometimes as well, it's all right to miss a training session. It's not going to knock you back. It's just sometimes if we miss it, it's probably an underlying reason why we have, and it's probably just because we're tired. And so sometimes we just need that rest.
I think sometimes if you've had like 2 or 3 days in a row where you're feeling that way, that probably is, like for me personally, is calling out for a rest. Like
I think you just got to listen to yourself then, and it's all right to do that. But at the moment, with me, because we sort of getting back to normal-ish in terms of like clients, it's now readapting myself because I had like 3 weeks where I could just train almost like a young lad again. I had all the time in the world. I felt great. I was training whenever I wanted. I had time to eat, sit down, eat my meals, and obviously that stopped. So then it was like, oh, hang on a minute now. Like, I haven't got time to train. And it was again having to fix that mindset to, well, you're working now, so you're going to train less. So what you need to start doing is get your time better managed. So when you are in the gym, you can maximize it. And that's your session. Instead of being like, oh, well, like 3 weeks ago, I was training like this. And it's like, well, that was 3 weeks ago, like you've got to be understanding of it can't always be perfect as well.
Adapting and
exactly.
You're going to find that, I'm sure, now when you open up, you're going to be like, look at all this. Like,
I think hopefully the excitement was sort of
definitely
bring that along for the first few weeks. But like you said, once that goes away, and it does, because like everything, it becomes a job, doesn't it? So like, we're going to have to be thinking, well, all right, I'm going to have to get in early, get all my training done 6 to 8, and then if I have time later on, bonus, great. But if you don't, you can't be sulking about it. You just got to man up and just think, well, I got my training in 6 to 8. I need to be happy with that. Instead of being like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, got to do that. So I think what I'll be starting to do then is just being a bit more relaxed with my training in terms of, at the moment, structurally, I plan like 12 weeks in advance. Where that would just be scrapped and it'd be almost day to day then. And just trying to get the most out of those 2 hours in the morning.
Once you know how it's working, it'll be easier then.
It's going to be a lot of trial and error. So I think as well, when we actually get to move in, for the first month, we're going to, I don't know, we had to say like semi-open the gym. So we won't have it fully blown open to the full public, but we have it open to like select sort of people, but more just so we can get it right for the public. So we can have people in and be like, oh, we actually, that piece of equipment there don't quite work there. So obviously, like, you think going in, we're going to have this there, that there, it's going to be perfect. And all of a sudden you get people in the gym and you're like, no, actually, it doesn't really work.
I'm kind of in your way, you're there.
So I think we're on like a trial period where we can get it perfect. So when people are in, everything's just perfect for them. Because I think we're going to have like a supplement shop in there too.
Oh, cool.
Just some basic sort of stuff. I'm not a big believer in supplements, but just like your norm, like your whey proteins, creatines, nothing too extravagant.
I think that's good. There's nowhere, literally nowhere you can get that in a brick.
And that's the thing, what we're trying to say, because we'll have a shop there, but also we can get a lot more supplements than what we'll have. So if anyone does want anything, they can just order it from us. So that'll be another option that we will be doing from the gym as well. Which would be quite cool, because like you said, otherwise, having to go into AB or sort of online. So yeah, that would be quite cool too. Yeah.
So one question I wanted to ask you as well, like, obviously you're going to be opening up this gym, like this maybe not even a thought, I don't know, but what's the long-term goal? Like, are you thinking multiple gyms future, or
do you know what?
Just seeing how this goes?
I was asked this, but I'm a terrible creature of habit.
Yeah.
So like, if I find something I like, that's me.
Yeah.
So for me, I moved to Crick like 3 years ago, and I love it here.
Yeah.
So I feel like already I was welcoming to the community, like instantly.
Yeah.
If I go to the shops, everyone like knows my name. Do you know what? I quite like that feeling, and I just want to be that extra bit of part of the community.
Yeah.
So for me, if it is a success, which hopefully it will be, I would just like to hopefully we stay put, we keep coming back into the community. And we're just another staple in Crick Hour.
Yeah, that's class, mate. And like, you don't need to do any more than that.
No,
but I was just
and you know what? Initially, it was that thought. The big thing we would like to hopefully grow is our like merchandise, so our clothing.
Yeah.
So we've got like a few more drops that are coming. So we're going to be a bit patient. So we got, I think, new launch in September and then another launch in December.
Yeah.
So I think we like to do that, but obviously we can do all that from Crick Hour.
Yeah.
So I think we do want that to grow as big as we can.
Yeah, that's cool. One of the t-shirts up there.
Yeah, one of the t-shirts currently available to order until Friday. Drop that in there. But yeah, initially I think, like for me, it's quite funny because I became a PT like 10 years ago and just did nothing with it. So I literally came out of college, all my qualifications. Then I just went to work with the old man, which was an experience. And then I just found myself in like a job that was like safe, comfortable, and it's honestly really surprising how you can just get caught up in that sort of mundane sort of life and almost a bit, if I leave, like, it's a risk or it's like an easy job, this. And like, for me as well, I really enjoyed the people I worked with like one woman for like 10 years and she was like a sister to me. So you just got in that routine. And then I was just coming up to like 30 and I was just thinking, what am I doing? Like, am I going to do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
And it just sort of something switched in my brain. I was like, I need just to do something different. And I just made the jump. It was just like an epiphany. I just literally just thought, I woke up and I was like, I need to do something different.
Yeah.
So as well, it's not getting caught up in that mundane lifestyle again now. It's trying to sort of keep pushing and striving for something.
I think that's great for people to hear as well, because there's so many people stuck and feel like they cannot actually do what they want to do.
Honestly, I was one of those. I honestly would tell myself, if you go and do that, you're not guaranteed any income, you'll fail, and then you need to find a new job. That was literally what I tell myself every day.
And by doing that, which I've done it, I know loads of people who are doing it, you failed already.
Yeah, 100%.
You haven't even given it that shot. Like,
it's the same attitude. The way I started to look at it later on was, right, that's like you going in the gym, putting weight on the bar and going, you're not going to lift that today.
Yeah.
Like, if I thought like that every time I went in the gym, I wouldn't lift the weight ever again.
Yeah.
But I was happy to do that in my day-to-day life. And then I was coming home, I was like, although it's funny as well, you don't realise that you might be a bit miserable, a bit down. I was never depressed, I would never go that far, but a bit just fed up, But you get so used to that as well, that becomes normal. And then all of a sudden, like now, like you said, you're looking for things to do, it's positive. So it's just making that jump. And I think, like you said, so many people are probably in the same boat.
I think so, like massively.
But they won't regret doing it.
Yeah.
I think once they do it, within reason, obviously, things need to align up first, but if you're struggling with that, definitely just make the jump.
Definitely, I agree with you. I think that's a positive note to end it on, mate.
Yeah, cool, mate.
Happy to have you. Thanks for coming, mate, and can't wait for the gym to open. Is there anything you want to say, like, before you go? Or
no, just mate, really enjoyed it. Awesome.
Where can they find you?
So Welch Fitness WF on Instagram. And I think we just are Welch Fitness on Facebook too. But our Facebook is a lot more popular than our Instagram, so we want to change that.
Right,
so
okay.
We need more followers on Instagram.
Right, I'll put some links in the description, so anyone wants to find them, get to it.
Perfect, legend.
Right,
thank you very much, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I love that.